this tomato plant. This is a tiny Tim. It was in this pot over here along with this plant, and it was about so tall. Well, I knew it needed to be transplanted into a bigger pot, and you know, the stem buried down further so that it would get even more roots. So these funny little things that's to keep the cat from going in there and laying down on it and squishing it. The other thing that I did in here, I don't remember if I told you this before, this lemon tree was about so tall, and I had been watching some videos about lemon trees and realized it would be wise to top it. So that's what I did, and since I've done that, I noticed, I don't know if that'll focus in, there we go, it's growing some new green. Oh, there we go. And I took the part that I trimmed off and I stuck it down in here. It's buried quite deep. It's staying green, so hopefully it gets some roots. That would be really nice if it did. And that also looks like it might be growing some little green on it, so I'm thinking it might do okay. This is a basil plant. I don't know what kind of basil it is, I don't remember, but I've topped it a couple of times to eat or use I used some in pizza the other day. So the other one that I was going to show you, oh, my fig. This is supposed to be dormant. It stayed just like this for a while, but now it's blooming. It's getting leaves on it again. And the other figs that I have in here, they're up top there, and I think they're still green. They never did really go dormant. And then, let's see. Forget which one it was. Oh, no, it wasn't that. Yes, it was this one, I believe. No, it wasn't. I think maybe I've lost track now. But one of my peppers, remember, what was it, last week? I showed you the cat got in here and knocked plants over and unplanted it. And I think it was this one. And it was my one that had the most green on it, but now I think it's dead. I don't know, that one almost looks like it has right there. I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I think maybe that was just too hard on it. So my other peppers that I'm overwintering, they still look alive, but they haven't sprouted leaves and stuff yet. So we'll see. It's fun trying. The other thing I was going to show you is my lettuce microgreens. They're coming along nicely. And then over here I have basil that's coming up, also there. Those are too bad for the evening. Well, hubby gave me a gift certificate for local farm supply, and during the summer they have garden, plants and stuff too. Usually about last part of August, first part of September, all of their gardening stuff just disappears until probably, I'm guessing, April or May. Anyway, he gave me a gift certificate. He said I could not spend it on gardening things, which means I'll get my gardening things, but it won't come out of the gift certificate. So I went shopping today. Well, they have lots of clothes. They're a little spendier than I usually like to pay, but I looked to see what they might have on sale. I'm not a big Western plaid shirt type person, and they had lots and lots of plaids, and they're pretty, but I didn't really want a long sleeve plaid shirt. In fact, I've only got about 3 or 4 long sleeved anythings. I prefer short sleeves or sleeveless just because they're more comfortable. So I spent some of my gift certificate. Well, what I spent was what I still had left in the one he gave me last year. I still have some left on it. And then I didn't spend any of the one he gave me this year. But I did buy one thing that I told him it's borderline gardening. So he didn't complain too much. Let me turn you around here and you can see what it's a book. I haven't purchased a real book for a long time. I usually read ebooks, but this one just captured my attention. It's got herbal recipes in it, and it actually has a lot more than just recipes. It talks about different I'm going to call them ailments for the lack of a better word. Different things that happen to people in different situations and ages. And it's got lots of information in it, plus recipes to put together. Teas, tonics, oils, salves, and tinctures, and other natural remedies for the entire family. So I spent part of this afternoon looking through it, and I saw several recipes that I'd like to try. And of course, there are some ingredients I don't have. So I'll either have to find out where I can buy those ingredients or figure out where I can get plants to grow those ingredients myself. Okay, I've laid out the seed catalogs that I've gotten so far this year. I haven't ordered any yet for a while. I kind of ordered a few things earlier in the winter, or in the fall, I should say. But these all look like really good, and I have a feeling I'll get some more. These are the ones that I've got right now. Baker Creek Heirloom, and that's rareseeds.com. They've got they've got lots of stuff in here, lots and lots. Gorgeous pictures and very enticing to get things to try. I've ordered from Annie's before, and what I ordered from her was just fine. And this one has nice pictures in it too, and tells a lot of information about things. This one's just, it's in color, but it's like more newspaper feel. And I don't think I've ever ordered from these people, but they've got lots of interesting things in there too. This one's quite colorful, like the Baker Creek one. Seed Savers Exchange and Territorial Seed Company. And they've got lots to choose from too. So I'll be sitting down and deciding what I actually need, because I still have some seeds left over. I have such a small garden that when I have a packet of seeds, I don't plant the whole packet. I just plant what will fit in the space I've got. So I end up with leftover seeds. But I do know there are a few things that I did run out of, and I'm going to have to order some things. I want to focus a little more this year on perennials, flowers in particular, but perennials and herbs is what I'd like to focus on. I'm still going to do my tomatoes and peppers. And I'm still going to try some brassicas. The brassicas don't necessarily do very well for me, and I'm not sure why. I think it might be a combination of being too cold and too hot, because we go from one extreme to the other generally. We're cold in the... I'm classified as 6B, but when I do the Farmer's Almanac or any other thing to see what my zone really is, the 6B and my frost dates and everything are for the town that's about 10 miles away from us. Well, the weather's not the same. It's only 10 miles, but the weather's not the same there as it is here. Sometimes it's colder, sometimes it's hotter. If I do the towns go in the other direction, they show it being colder. And sometimes they're colder than us, but more often than not, they're relatively the same. I mean, it's hard. You know, weather's one of these things that's weird. We live close to a mountain range, but it isn't a very tall mountain range. I don't know how tall the tallest peak is, but I'm going to make a wild guess and say it's around 5,000 feet. Right here where we live, it's like 1,700 feet. It's a little bit more than that, but not much. So I'm never quite sure what really is going to grow best for me. My tomatoes grow relatively good. I mean, I get nothing like some of the YouTubers that I watch that have tomatoes running out of their ears. Well, I think they plant more than I do because they have more space. But even at that, mine don't do that well, but I do get tomatoes. Last summer, what did the best for me were the cherry tomatoes, the little banana, the little yellow ones, but I think they were called banana tomatoes or something like that. Little yellow ones, they did the best for me. One thing that I tried last summer that I had never ever eaten before or grown were ground cherries. I discovered I really like them, so I'm going to make sure that I have some of those, plant some of those. And I showed you I'm trying to overwinter some of my pepper plants. So I'm gonna the seeds that I need to buy are just sweet peppers, because some of those are hotter peppers, and I like growing them, but I don't necessarily like eating them, if that makes sense. And to really do true gardening, I need to grow what I'm going to eat. So what I did last year with the hot ones, once I picked them, I didn't have very many, but the ones that I did have, I let them dry, and then I ground them up into powder. And what was it? I added some of the powder in a pizza not too long ago, and it made it a little bit spicy, but it wasn't so spicy that you couldn't. I mean, it was good. I liked it. But I do have to make sure I don't go too spicy, because my brain likes it, my mouth doesn't. Anyway, we still have our Christmas decorations up, and I'm thinking I should start maybe one box at a time, start putting them away. Technically, Christmas isn't over till January 6th, because that's the Three Kings Day, or Epiphany, and the 12th day of Christmas, because the first day of Christmas starts on Christmas Day. some years, I don't remember what I did last year, but I think it was the year before last, I took my decorations off of my tree, but I left the tree up and put Valentine hearts on it. Well, I left snowflakes on it for January and Valentine hearts for February and shamrocks for March. And then I finally took the tree down. So I don't know if they'll do that or not. It appeals to me that maybe I should. Just because it's nice to have something festive in the house. We'll see. But the other stuff I need is, I have so much, well, as you saw in some of my previous Christmas videos, I have so many Christmas decorations that if I try to get them all put away in one day, I get all worn out. So I think I'll just do a little bit at a time, and I should start right away, huh? Like maybe tomorrow or the next day. It used to be a tradition to take everything down on New Year's Day, but I kind of strayed away from that tradition. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with y'all. Hope that you've had a good week between Christmas and New Year's. I will attempt to make another video before New Year's, maybe on New Year's Day. I should try to do that, to make a special New Year's video and tell you my plans for the new year. In the meantime, I'm just kind of enjoying life. It was fun to get out of the house all by myself today to go shopping for myself. I bought a couple of tops and the book that I showed you. And like I told my husband, I think I will find more things that I like when they put in their spring and summer clothes, because I like the brighter colors and more short-sleeved and sleeveless things. And I really need a pair of shoes. And I looked at their shoes, but I didn't see exactly what I wanted. And I need shoes for gardening. My gardening shoes are wearing out. I don't need them for going places. I have going places shoes. But I need shoes, just utilitarian shoes. But my shoes are so hard to find that I can wear because of a bunion on one of my toes, on one of my feet. And it makes it so that if I get shoes that are hard leather or vinyl or whatever, they'll hurt my foot. So I have to get shoes that are either some kind of canvas or something soft, so that it has a little bit of give. I should maybe show you I'll show you my feet. You can see it isn't a huge bunion, but it's just enough to around here. So you can see how I have just a little teeny bit of one on this foot, but that foot's fairly okay. So it's this foot, you can see how my toes all slant that direction because of the bunion. And yes, I've got Christmas nails on my toes. Anyway, so I have to pretty much fit the shoes to this foot. Anyway, come springtime, I know I'll be able to find more things. The gift certificate's just for that one particular store, so they have all kinds of tools and stuff too, which I'm Well, I can always borrow Jim's electrical tools if I need to, or just ask him to do it. That's easiest. Whatever. So, I don't know. I'll try to remember to share if I get something when I get more with my gift certificate. Right now I've got a full tummy. I made a chicken noodle casserole for dinner, and that was really good. And now I'm just going to relax for the rest of the evening. I hope you're having a good week. May the good Lord richly bless you. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.